everybody, welcome back to My Big Sister Podcast. My name is Grace and this is my big sister Josie.
Hello, and in this week we're going to be spilling the tea and answering all you guys' questions because you've sent in quite a lot. So we thought we'd go through some of them in this episode.
Yeah, hope you enjoy and let's get into it. Okay, the first one that we got was how old are you? I feel like we mention this every single episode. I'm always like, you're old, Josie.
We always talk about our age gap, but we don't say what our actual ages are.
Yeah, well, so I'm 22. I'm soon to be 23 next week.
Yeah.
No, in 2 weeks. I don't know how many.
When this episode's going out.
This episode is going up this week, so I think it's end of next week that I am 23.
Yeah.
And we may even have a special birthday themed episode coming up the week after because it's my birthday week, you know, so we've got to celebrate on the podcast. But yeah, I'm 22, about to turn 23. And Josie, you are 31?
Yeah. I always forget how old I am. I feel like once you turn like past a certain age, you just stop caring so
I
much about
forget
how old you are.
I am.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe it's just a universal thing.
Yeah, I've been 23 in my head for like 6 months, even though I'm still 22. But yeah, that's how old we are. So we're actually 9 years apart, but I feel like I would just round it up to 10.
Well, it's never like a full exact amount, is it?
Yeah, I feel like because we're like a decade apart. Like when I was in my teens, you were in your 20s, and now I'm in my 20s, you're in your 30s. So it just feels like, 10 years apart,
I always
basically.
give you like the spoiler of what happens.
Yeah, it's like looking at you, and I can like test out like, if you're going to start aging, I can see it 10 years in advance and fix my problems. Or like you can tell me what to do what you wish you'd done 10 years prior.
Yeah.
I really want to get one of those LED masks, and you have one, don't you? Sorry, this is random, but I was just thinking with aging, because I saw, Sophia Tuxford from the Girls' Bathroom, she bought the like shark one. This sounds like an ad. This is not an ad, but yeah, shark, like the Hoover.
Hoovers.
Yeah, they've brought out this one, and it's like, it looks way different than any other LED mask, and it's got these like extra bits that you like put in the fridge to make your under eyes cold, and apparently it like doesn't sit on your face. It like is further away from your face, so it's not as like heavy on your face.
Well, apparently it only works if it's directly on your face, because the commercial ones aren't as strong as like the ones you get in like a esthetician's office.
I was literally almost influenced to purchase that this morning, so maybe I should not listen
to be honest, who the hell knows? But from what I've heard, it's best for it to be as close to your face as possible.
Because all the comments on her TikTok were like, this has completely changed my... Like, there was so many good comments about it. So I was like, surely if people are seeing results though,
but if it's new, how quickly have they seen the results?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, it's supposed to take like a little while to see results, like so I'm a bit sus.
It's the sort of thing where I'd buy and I'd use it for a week and then I'd give up.
To be fair, I do use mine maybe twice a week, but when I first got it, I thought I'd be using it every day because it's quite pricey. So I was like who the hell wouldn't use this every single day? But then you just sort of forget, and I always forget to charge it up.
Well, I'm just gonna come to your house and steal yours.
I do use it like
how
probably
much
about
was yours? Like
an
expensive one?
It was $700, which is like £350.
Okay, next question. Someone said how to deal with fake friends.
Ooh.
I feel like that is tricky, and sometimes it's like you don't even know they're fake friends until for years and years. And I feel like isn't there a quote where it's like your friends are your biggest haters? Like some people's friends are their biggest haters.
What kind of quote is that?
No, but I feel like it is true. Sometimes your friends like even like inadvertently end up like not being that nice to you, or not like rooting for you, or like being happy for you. Sometimes I think that's like the sort of fake friends I'm thinking of.
I think it depends on what you're talking about. Like, there's so many different varieties of fake friends. One could be like a frenemy that you've had since you were a kid and you've just never really properly liked each other. One could be like a new friend who's just pretending to be your friend because they want something from you. There's a lot of different varieties, but I think as I've gotten older, I think I've gotten better at realising who my actual friends are, and I just don't really have time for the ones who are fake. I don't know whether it's when you get older you just have less time in general to spend with friends, so obviously you're just going to pick the one to spend time with, the ones that you actually
I think it's
like,
hard,
but
I think when you have like fake friends, but it might be in a situation where you have to see them, like at work or at school, and it's like you can't, especially I feel like at work, it's not like you can, you know, cut someone off or like not interact with people. Like you've got to keep things professional, or like even at school, you're going to see these people all the time, so you can't like, you know, be like, I'm not ever talking to you again. So it can be hard. But I would say what I've definitely learned from having like all different friends and different avenues of life is be careful with who you trust, because sometimes if you've suddenly become best friends with someone very quickly, you might trust them and you might feel like you can, you know, tell them anything, and they might be telling you lots of stuff about their life, but sometimes you can't trust that it will stay between you two. And I think it can be a hard lesson to learn, because you want to trust people and you want to make friends.
And don't be paranoid, but at the same time, like, don't be spilling your life story at the first
and I
second.
feel like I'm the sort of person who, if there's silence, I just start speaking, so I just end up like just saying the most random stuff and maybe just telling people stuff that like they didn't need to know, and then I'm like, oh, why did I tell that person that? Like, I don't even know them that well. So I feel like maybe just be very careful with who you trust, especially if it's like maybe at work and there's like things you're maybe not meant to tell people because it's like your job to not tell those secrets or whatever. I think it can be just hard. I feel like I'm just a very trusting person, so I assume everyone else is very trustworthy like me, but then they're not always trustworthy.
Do you feel like there's some people who seem to attract like dodgy people or negative people?
I think if you are a person that's very trusting and is very like kind and a bit maybe naive, then maybe you're gonna be taken advantage of more than someone who's, you know, like got their wits about them and is more, you know, cautious with things like that. But I think that does come with age. Like, I feel like as you get older, you do kind of learn, and you can kind of sense if someone's being like a bit fake when you first meet them, or whether they're just being friends with you for a reason. I feel like now I can kind of sense it. And I feel like now I have my like close group of friends and I just stick with them rather than, you know, trying to find all these different new friends. But obviously that's easier said than done if you don't already have those existing friends that you trust.
Yeah, it's really difficult. And I guess the only other thing I would say is if they say something weird, or they say
if
something
there's
that
red
makes...
flags, then don't ignore them.
But I think if they say something that makes you question something, just try and be honest. Like, ask them a question, like, what do you mean by that? Or if they say something that sounds a bit like a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, or if they've like told someone in their life something, you told them a secret, be like, I'm not happy that you, like, you shouldn't just brush things off. You should just be honest and say, oh, I told you that in confidence and I didn't want you to share that, and, you know, it's upset me, or something like that. Yeah, I think being honest is all you can do, really. And then, yeah, if someone, what's that quote that's like, when someone shows you who they are the first time, like, believe it, like, you don't. But then it is hard, because I'm such like a person who's like, maybe they were just having a bad day, or like, you know, if a small incident happens, I'm like, oh, maybe there's a reason, or like you know, maybe they were just having a bad week or a bad day. But then I think for me, if it happens multiple times, or if I just get that bad gut feeling, then I'm like, no, okay, let's maybe put a bit of distance between myself and this friend. And it's not like you have to cut people off, but I think maybe just not, you know, being besties and texting them all the time, and, you know, maybe wait and see if they actually make plans to meet up, because a lot of people, I feel like you're just always the one texting, and that could be a good indicator of whether they see you as like a true friend or not. Okay, someone said, how can I feel more confident during my prom? I think that's a good question. I feel like maybe we should do a whole episode about prom, because I feel like when I was growing up, it was such like a, oh my god, prom, like it seemed like such a big thing. I feel like in all the like American movies, prom is like the pinnacle of, it's like the thing you look forward to your whole high school life, whereas now when I look back, I'm like, that was nothing to be excited about.
So awkward and weird and a bit rubbish, and it was just like loads of beige food and everyone awkwardly standing.
I don't think ours even had food.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did you have this thing where everyone sort of like asked people out to the prom, but then when it got to the actual prom, no one really like stood with the person or talked to the person they were supposed to be going with?
Yeah, I feel like there was a big thing of like, oh, who are you going to prom with? But then actually, yeah, like nearer the time and like on the day, it was like, we're all just
everyone
here
just
in a room
with their friends.
Yeah. I remember it was more of a big thing of like after prom parties and like the pre-prom, like going to someone's house to get all pictures of your friends. I feel like that caused lots of arguments in my like school year, because it was like, whose pre-prom are you going to? Like, whose after prom are you going to?
Well, I hosted the pre-prom at Mum and Dad's house for my friendship group.
There you go. I feel like prom, when I look back, I'm like, first of all, I don't like the dress I picked. What was your dress?
Mine was like a puffy purple.
Yours was very
short
2000s
dress with like a strap on it.
I remember when
Maybe I can insert a photo into the video version of this episode.
When you went to prom, I remember thinking that was the coolest dress in the world. The one that you wore to prom. I was like, wow.
I thought it was so cool
and
because,
because it was a short dress, I remember being like, ooh, that's really cool. And I remember like when I was younger, I was like, I'm never going to wear a long dress to prom. I'm going to wear a short dress. And I remember in like year 7, we had to like write letters to ourselves, and they gave it to us on the last day of year 11. And in my letter to myself, I had written, I hope you don't have a long prom dress. If you have a long prom dress, I will kill you.
That's
cute. And it was like, I was like annoyed at and I did have a long prom dress in the end because that was like the trend. When
I remember there was this girl who, so like there was this whole thing of like a Facebook chat with all the girls in our year, and it was, everyone was sharing what dress they had bought so that no one would end up with the same dress. And then I shared about my dress, and then this girl messaged me privately and was like, I bought that dress as well.
Scandal.
And then I was like, oh, well, I've bought this dress. And I just waited to see what she said. She was like, I'll get another one, I'll return it. And I was like, phew.
Well, I remember at my prom, there was like this prom dress shop like in one of the villages near our school, and it was like the place to go, but it was really expensive, and my mum was like, we cannot go there, it's
weren't they like
so
£300?
Yeah, literally so expensive. But what happened at that prom dress shop was they would write down your name and your school, and then they wouldn't sell that dress to anyone else at your school. So they had like a whole system going
cool.
where like you could check who's bought what dress at this dress shop, but obviously only if you go to that specific dress shop. So everyone like went to that dress shop, but I wasn't allowed because it was too expensive.
So what did you, I don't even remember what you wore.
Were you living in Australia when I went to prom?
I think this is why I don't have a memory of it, because I remember Daisy's because I came and took the photos.
Yeah, our other sister's prom. Yeah. At my prom, I wore basically so the year I went to prom in year 11, I had just had my like back surgery that like October, November, and then when it was coming around to prom that summer, I finally got my back brace off, because after my second surgery I had to wear my back brace. And I remember it was the 1st of February, I went to London to have my doctor's appointment, and I got to leave my back brace behind, and that day my mum was like, let's go prom shopping, because I finally like didn't have the back brace anymore. So me and mum went to like Debenhams, like House of Fraser, like all the big like department stores.
Debenhams.
Yeah, R.I.P. Debenhams. But I didn't want a dress that showed my back scar, which is really hard to find in like a formal gown.
Yeah, most dresses that I can think of would not
like,
have
or
it
at least
so
show it a
high
little
up.
bit. Yeah. And it was really hard to find one that didn't. So I basically just picked the dress based on whatever dress I could find that had like a high back. And I did really like it at the time. I think it was from Mango.
Was it like
it was navy.
Yeah, blue. Dark
It
blue.
was just quite a plain dress. Like it was nothing special. But yeah, we bought it there. I remember it was £80, which is still quite a lot for a dress. But some of these girls in my year, were spending like £300, £400. So mine was £80. That was quite cheap compared to everyone else's dresses.
And also, you could probably reuse that one. Whereas, when are you going to be reusing a
sparkly
prom dress?
Prom,
like
yeah,
never.
Yeah. But yeah, that was what my prom dress was like. But I feel like now looking back at my prom dress, I'm like, oh, I mean, it was kind of cute at the time. Like I was 16 and like, do you still have your prom
I think
dress?
Mum kept it for a while, and it's so tiny. I would never be able to fit into it now. So there's no point keeping it.
Well, it might be like vintage. What if like you have a daughter and she wants to wear it to prom because it's vintage?
Satin like.
It's very puffy.
Purple.
It's giving like bridesmaid dress from the 2000s. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Where did you buy your prom dress?
I think it was just from like a department store. I can't remember which. I think we went up to London again. And, but yeah, it's so funny. Our prom photos are so funny because it's just the time period.
The makeup and the hair.
Have been like 20.
I don't know, 2007 or something.
2009, I think it would have been.
Yeah.
So. It's just
like the Towie era of
so
UK
funny.
fashion.
Everyone is so fake tanned, hair extensions,
eyeliner,
concealer as lipstick.
Yeah, it's giving The Only Way is Essex.
Yeah,
kind of
back
vibe,
combed hair, hairspray. It's hilarious.
I feel like prom now though, I see people's TikToks about it and they all look amazing. Have you seen that trend of like, you probably have not seen this, and it's like the sound from Fantastic Mr. Fox, the movie, and it's like, you look beautiful tonight. It must be that. Have you seen this? It's a really cute trend. It's actually like so wholesome of like the boy prom date and then he like shows the girl and it's so cute. And when it turns to the girl date, they look so like they're about to walk like a red carpet. Like I feel like all the girls now just look amazing. But do you think like at the time you looked like, what is it, just because right now that's the fashions now, so I think they look like, were you wearing like red carpet fashion at the time?
I just think today's like everyone
beauty standards are much higher, but then it's like, they were also high back then.
I don't think it's beauty standards, I think it's just availability of knowledge. Like we didn't have
like a tutorial of how to do your own makeup.
I did have like YouTube. I actually did used to watch a lot of YouTube makeup tutorials, but they were just so niche and specific. It wasn't really, it was basically all just about how to do like eyeliner with like 10 different layers of different colours and like blending your eyeliner. That was like, I mean, blending your eyeshadow. And everyone was just obsessed with eyeshadow, like so much. And now it's actually not cool to really wear eyeshadow, is it?
Yeah.
Like I still wear eyeshadow, but only one colour and a tiny bit.
Yeah, I never buy like a palette.
Yeah, but I didn't realise that because millennials are obsessed with eyeshadow because that was the thing at the time. But now everyone has like, you know, skincare.
Yeah, I feel like skincare is more the thing.
The most knowledge you could ever have about every single beauty and hair thing, and like Dyson Airwraps exist.
And like everyone wears SPF. Yeah.
We didn't even have, the most we would have is like a curling wand or a GHD
that like fried your hair.
That fried your hair. We didn't have everything.
Like the technology has improved. Yeah.
So everyone nowadays just has the most access to things that we didn't have back then. What else was I going to say?
In terms of like prom date, I feel like that is a big pressure. Yeah.
Did you weren't going out with your boyfriend at that point?
Yeah,
right?
we went to prom together. Yeah.
Okay.
My boyfriend I still have now, and we went to prom together.
So you didn't have that pressure of finding a prom
I knew
date.
who I was going with.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the time, my boyfriend actually asked me there was like, I don't know if it was a trend or like I'd seen it on like Pinterest or something where people like proposed to people, and this was in the time of like hipster film cameras. I loved taking all my pictures on film cameras and like disposable cameras. So my boyfriend asked me to prom by taking pictures of, will you go to prom to me on different pieces of paper? And then we like went to get the film developed and he was like, yeah, it's just like my camera I've been using, like let's go get it developed. And then he was like, look at the pictures, and then I saw and it was like, will you go to prom with me, like
that's
each individual
so
picture. And I'm pretty sure he's like, we got the idea, like I'd seen it somewhere or I'd seen someone like get proposed to like that in that way. So that's how I got asked to prom, which was pretty cute.
I don't think I really got asked to prom because I was already going out.
You had a boyfriend at the time,
yeah,
didn't you?
I had a boyfriend, so I don't think it was some like romantic proposal.
Yeah.
It was just like, yeah, we're going to prom together.
I keep getting TikToks of people being asked to prom in the UK. It must be the time of year, like people getting asked to prom now.
I feel like I'm just not on this side of the internet because I'm too old. That like
you're
not going to care about this
One thing
situation.
That was sad for me was I missed my sixth form prom. Did you have a prom in college?
No.
Because at my school you had your prom in year 11, which is like the main prom. Like when you think of prom, it's year 11. That like pretty much all schools do that now, I feel like, in the UK. But then our school also did sixth form prom. So after sixth form, when you're 18, you had another prom, and it was kind of a bit more like casual. People wore like short dresses, but everyone was so excited for that prom. And I remember I'd like started planning my outfit and everything, but then it was locked down, so we couldn't have it, and it was pretty sad. Yeah,
I think we had like a thing in the school canteen where people would just hang out for like a few hours.
Yeah,
it wasn't really a thing.
The question was, how can I feel more confident during prom? I feel like it is hard because it's such an awkward age. Like, I feel like almost no one is fully confident at like 15 and 16 years old.
And when you look back at those photos in years to come,
yeah, you're probably
cringe.
Gonna cringe.
And that's okay. I think maybe just accepting that and maybe not trying to take it too seriously, because it is supposed to be fun. And
I think in terms of feeling confident, try and pick an outfit that feels like you. Maybe like, if you don't normally wear long dresses, or if you don't normally wear short dresses, pick something that feels like you. Don't feel like you have to just wear like
you
a
have to wear
prom
heels
dress
as well.
Yeah, like you can
like
wear flats.
I'm quite tall, so I'd never really worn heels, and so I wore flat
I wore
sandals
flats at my prom as well.
And it's so much better because I hate being uncomfortable.
And I feel like if you're wearing a long prom dress, you can't even see your shoes. So wearing like little ballerina flats or even like trainers if you want to be like Hilary Duff in Cinderella Story, then you can wear Converse under your prom dress.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in terms of feeling confident as well, I feel like for me, doing my own hair and makeup, or at least makeup, because I feel like sometimes if I get my makeup done or my hair done, which I've only had a few times in my life.
Are people getting their hair and makeup done for
prom?
What?
Yeah, that happened when I was in school.
Some people don't even do that for their own wedding.
No, everyone got their hair and makeup done in my school year was just bougie. They were getting these expensive dresses, the makeup, the hair. Most of my friends got their hair done, but I did my own hair.
Well, I guess hair is a bit different because you could go to a hairdresser and get that done.
Yeah.
But I'm just picturing like someone coming to your house.
Oh no, people like went to like Mac in Debenhams to get their makeup done.
That's
for
a
prom.
bit different.
Yeah, or like you know when you like pay, but then you get to get the products worth of money.
Well, that's
stuff like
that's a bit more normal.
Yeah, but I remember people having like trials for their prom makeup, and it was like the big day. Like, yeah, but I would say if you feel more confident with no makeup on, wear no makeup. And I feel like doing your own makeup, at least I feel more like me. Like, even though someone else doing my makeup, I might look great and glamorous, sometimes I would just want to feel more like myself.
You are one of the most like sticking to the same makeup people I've ever known. Like, you literally refuse. Like, one time I was like, I have this cool like sparkly eyeshadow, and you were like, no.
I do the same makeup.
I was like, this is literally the eyeshadow that Taylor Swift wears, and you still would not wear it.
I do the same makeup routine no matter where I'm going. I mean, I'll put a bit more like coverage on depending on where I'm going, but the same eye makeup, the same lipstick colour, the same everything. If one day
you changed your makeup routine,
if I ever wore like a red lip, I would feel so weird.
Shook. I think you should do it one day.
I feel like you wear red lips sometimes.
Yeah, I like a different lipstick colour sometimes.
I just feel like it would look like I'm like a child who's found their mum's makeup. Like, I feel like maybe I have like a bit of a baby face, so I feel like just more softer makeup suits me.
Yeah, well,
I think I do have quite a young face because I always get ID'd for everything.
But it's funny because I always thought you had a young face because you were the youngest.
Well,
but
yeah,
now you're an adult, young. So.
But I do think I have a young face. If I don't wear makeup, I get ID'd like I always have to carry my ID,
well,
even if it's
I still get ID'd.
Yeah, so. Well, I was trying to buy some gardening stuff in the garden centre the other day, and it was literally like a spade and like a pitchfork, which I guess a pitchfork is like what town riots use, and like in The Simpsons they have like a riot. Damage. But so we went to the till. I was with my boyfriend. He had his ID, and he was buying it. Like he was using his card. And because I didn't have my ID, they wouldn't let him buy a spade. They let him buy the pitchfork, though. Apparently the spade is the age-restricted thing of those two, which I'm confused because...
I feel like a pitchfork is more
dangerous. A
pitchfork
is like angry town mob. Yeah. Like, whereas a spade... I don't know, although I feel like in Pretty Little Liars, Alison De Laurentiis was hit with a spade, so maybe that's why. But honestly, like, how old do you have to be to buy a spade? Is it 16 or 18?
Well, if it's restricted, it's probably 18.
But I was just like, I'm not even buying this. Like, what if you're a mum with a child? Obviously, the child doesn't need to be over 18 for the mum to buy a spade. Like, I was just like, this is getting a bit silly. I know it is their job to check, but I wasn't even the one buying it. So
don't mention the spud gun incident. When I worked, my very first job when I worked in a toy shop, I accidentally sold a spud gun to a child, and I got fired.
Yeah, I feel like you told that story before in the career episode. So I do understand, but yeah, I just think I have a baby face because I get ID'd for absolutely anything. Like Syncom blocker all the time. ID'd for that.
Yeah, that is so annoying.
Like
Syncom blocker is the most boring thing ever. I'm like,
and what if you were 15 and your sink was blocked? Like, what do you do then? You have to like tell someone outside, can you go in and buy this sink unblocker for me? Honestly, it's funny. But yeah, I think I do have a baby face, so I feel like makeup, I just do the same makeup look all the time.
I'm intrigued to know what you'd look like with a red lip on. I think you should give it a go.
The most makeup I think the most different makeup I've ever worn was for the Wicked premiere. I had my makeup done by Charlotte Tilbury, and she did do like sparkly eyeshadow, and I did actually really like how I looked. But when I like opened my camera, I was like, that's not me. Like, I felt like, you know, very glamorous, and it felt like the right thing for the red carpet. But I did also feel like, oh, this isn't my, like, it was weird. Like, I didn't feel like me because it wasn't I'm not used to seeing my face with that amount of makeup on. But I did really like it, and it did look really
But sometimes
good.
it's fun to be like, oh, I'm a different
I'm a different
person.
Yeah, it's fun to like transform.
It's like playing a character or something.
Yeah. But I think in terms of feeling confident at prom, I think, yeah, just try and wear whatever you feel like is you and that you feel comfortable in. But also remember, it's not really a big thing.
Yeah.
It's like your prom, pictures of you at prom, that's not going to be like the peak of your life. Like, I mean, maybe some people, they look so great at prom and like it's the one picture that they love of themselves. But I feel like for me, my facial features have just changed so much since I was 16 that like I feel like I look much better now than I did at prom.
Before it happens, everyone is talking about it like it's this mythical, magical event.
And it's going to be like crazy.
But honestly,
I remember
it's quite boring.
The year of my prom, there was a movie released about prom and we all went to the cinema to see it and it was like, oh my God.
Was it American?
Yeah, and it was like crazy. They all like stayed in a hotel and like it was just like the most crazy night of their lives and we were all like, oh my God, it's going to be our prom. And then we got to prom and it was just like
boring.
The most rubbish thing ever. Yeah.
I feel like especially in the UK, it's like, it's kind of an imported tradition, I guess, from the US. So I feel like the UK doesn't really know how to do it, like, properly.
I don't even know where prom came from. Like, what is prom? What
does prom mean?
What does prom mean? Does that stand for something?
Promenade?
Promiscuous? I don't know what even prom is.
Promise?
Maybe. Should we Google it? Let's have a Google.
I'm intrigued now.
What does the word prom mean? Prom, student formal dances celebration from 1894. American English shortened form of promenade.
Ah.
But I don't really get how that's linked. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I feel like if you want to feel confident at prom, try and be yourself and have a fun time with your friends and don't put too much pressure on it because it really doesn't matter and it will not be the highlight of your life probably. Someone said, when are you coming back to Australia?
Oh. Well, I'm planning on going in September, even though that's a really weird time to go because that's like the middle of their winter. But we've got some family who's having birthdays, so we're going to go in September.
You and your husband, yeah.
But what about you? Are you ever going to do that trip again?
Well,
do you think?
I'm quite scared of flying at the moment. So the thought of that long a flight, and I've just finished watching Lost. And honestly, that hasn't helped my fear of flying. But I do actually have a trip booked now. I'm going to Spain this summer on a flight, and that's quite a short flight. I think it's like 2 hours.
Maybe that will help you get over the fear.
Yeah, once I do that flight, I feel like I'm either going to be way more scared, like my fears will be confirmed, or I'll be fine and I'll be able to fly. Like I used to be very, very confident. Like I flew to Australia all by myself to come visit you. But I can't see myself doing that anytime soon.
Did you come twice or just once?
Twice, yeah. Twice. I came once by myself and once with our
dad.
Yeah. But I don't know when I'll go back to Australia. I feel like because I've been twice and both times I came for quite a long time, like 4 weeks or something. I've definitely seen
beyond Sydney.
I've seen all of Sydney. Like I don't know if I would even come back to Sydney for a while.
I think there's so much beyond Sydney to see.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Perth. Because I feel like it's very different.
I've never been to Perth.
Yeah, I would like to go. And the flight is nearer, isn't it?
It is. You can get a direct flight there.
Yeah.
And there's like quokkas and pink sand. Google a quokka. They're so cute. Quokkas are these little like are they marsupials or mammals? I'm not sure.
Is it like a bin chicken? Because
no, it's like a cute fluffy, like it looks like a teddy bear, but it's like this little like it's kind of like
a possum.
Kind of like a possum, but way cuter.
I just don't like any of these weird animals in Australia. It's not helping me feel better. But yeah, I don't know when I'll come back. I did love it there, and I think I don't think I'd want to live in Australia, but for a holiday, it's like the perfect holiday place to go. Like it's such nice weather. You're basically guaranteed good weather most of the time.
Good beaches.
The beaches, the food. Yeah, it's a really good place to go. The main downside is the flight. If you live in England, it's so far away.
I've always said that if they could just take Australia and like
put it nearer,
put it to like near Europe,
everyone would live there. Yeah, it'd be the perfect
the dream.
thing.
But then maybe that's why it's so good, is because it's so far away from the rest of the world. It's like far away from the rest of the world's problems.
The bad things happening. Yeah. But yeah, so you're going back in September.
Yeah, just for a visit.
Is there any food that you're like, I need to eat?
Yeah, like all of the Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Malaysia, just like basically all the
nothing
Asian
Australian.
Yeah, like all the food, like, and also a good.
Do you want
brunch.
a Guzman?
Yeah, but you can get
I like jasmine.
It's good, but you can get similar things here. But I would say like a good brunch with avo, halloumi. You know, you can get that here, but it's just not the same.
I feel like there's more of like a brunch culture
the bread,
in Australia.
The bread that they use is always really
always
good.
good, yeah.
They always put like feta on it or something to make it
it's
good.
always like plated nicely.
Whereas here, if you order an avo toast, you just get a bit of average bread with some avo on it. I know that's what avo toast is, but you need other things on it to make it good.
And this might be controversial, but Gales, the avocado toast at Gales is so bad.
Is it? I don't think I've ever ordered it.
You know, like guacamole from the fridge, like pre-made.
It's pre-made.
It's got like guacamole flavours on, which I appreciate they've put flavours, but like it just tastes like you've got some pre-made guacamole from the supermarket and just slapped it on, and you only get one piece of bread and they don't put anything on it, and it's like £9, and I'm like, for one piece of bread with some like store-bought or like pre-made guacamole, that's not what I'm wanting.
We won't be getting a Gales sponsorship anymore.
No, I'm really sorry, Gales, but please improve your avocado toast, because it's the only vegan option at Gales most of the time, and I really don't like it, and I can't get on board.
I think I'd rather just have a sliced avocado and then I can mash it in myself. I'd rather have that.
Just give me some salt and pepper and olive oil and I'll do it myself. It'll be nicer than a pre-made one. I agree. Someone said, what music do you guys like apart from Taylor Swift? I feel like we do always talk about Taylor Swift, but
I feel like I have quite a wide range of things that I like to listen to.
Yeah, you're a bit like indie, not like other girls' music taste sometimes. Millennial.
No, but I just like lots of random things. Like I love grime.
What is that, like JME?
Yeah, like Skepta, JME, Stormzy. Do you like sort of things like Phoebe Bridgers?
Yeah, I will listen to those sorts of like I feel like I haven't fully like explored that albums. I feel like I just have like the most popular singles in my playlist. You know, like
Lord.
Yeah, same thing. I've never like fully listened to the albums, but
you should go listen to Melodrama.
Singles. Yeah, and like Gracie Abrams.
I'm a very album person. That's what my Spotify always says every year.
I am too, like, I would say.
Listen to an album front to back.
But because I always like to only listen and watch things that I know. Yeah, so
it's the same with the makeup as well.
Yeah, I always listen to the same albums. Like I have my albums I love and I listen to them as albums, but I am scared to venture out to new albums because I feel like that's very overwhelming because it's like 30 new songs I've never heard.
Maybe I should tell you some albums that I think you would like, because I think, especially with Lord's new album coming out soon, I think you should listen to Melodrama.
I do like that new song that she's released. Yeah. I keep seeing it on TikTok.
What was that? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm very much an albums person. I feel like, what are your favourite albums? Let's just list some because I feel like that's a good kind of show of our favourite music taste. I like Tortured Poets Department. That's my favourite Taylor Swift, but you said not Taylor Swift.
Yeah, not Taylor Swift.
Made of Bricks by Kate Nash. That's been like my favourite album since I was like 5.
Yeah.
I like Harry Styles. I've been loving Short and Sweet, Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah,
since the
good.
Deluxe came out, I actually did listen to the whole album and I do like putting that on in the car. What else do I like as a whole album?
I feel like I'm really bad at remembering the names of album titles. I think obviously like When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go?
I've never listened to that. I'm not
so
really
good.
a Billie. I appreciate her singles and like I feel like she's cool, but I've never really listened to her music properly.
What?
Sorry.
This is madness.
I just feel like most of it is like...
It's so good.
Yeah, maybe I need to give it a go.
Listen to When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? It's so good. What else?
I've been loving Chapel Roan.
Yeah.
Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess.
Yeah.
Me and my boyfriend love that album. We always play it in the car. And normally we don't have the same music taste, but we both really like Chapel Roan. So cute. I feel like that's perfect car music. Like if you want like an upbeat, fun song for the car, that is the perfect album.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of all the albums that we have on vinyl because me and my husband were a bit like classic hipster millennials with our records.
Olivia Rodrigo. Both her albums, really good.
Yeah. There's so much, it's kind of hard to list it. I really like Sampha. Do you know Sampha?
No, I don't know what that is.
He's really good. Like pretty much any of his albums are so good. Solange.
Is that Beyonce's sister?
Yeah, the record that has Cranes in the Sky. It's so good. I'm really bad at like remembering the names of albums. I can picture what they look like, but I find it really hard to remember their names. It's really weird.
You know what I think is really good car music? That is not an album. It's just like Rihanna's old music, like all her like dance tracks. I feel like that's really good car music.
Yeah. What's the album that's like red? It's a red cover.
What, Rihanna?
Yeah, and it's like all blurry.
I feel like that's the one that was on a t-shirt.
Good.
It was on like t-shirts and Topshop.
Yeah, that album is so good.
Yeah, but I feel like mainly I am listening to Taylor, or at least I'm listening to playlists which have Taylor on, among other people, all the time. Who is like, whenever you get Spotify Wrapped, who's your number one? Is it Taylor?
Well, that's a good question. What was it?
Mine's always Taylor Swift. I think mine this year was like...
No.
Oh yeah, Lana Del Rey. Yeah. I've never fully listened to the albums.
What? Norman Rockwell.
I need to listen to Lana in more detail because I love all the songs. The songs that I know, I really like.
I can't believe you haven't listened to Lana.
Yeah, but I just listen to the same albums I've liked since I was a child.
You have to listen to Norman effing Rockwell.
Okay, I will.
It's one of the best albums.
I like the other woman. That's on my playlist. What album's that? The Other Woman. The Other Woman. Is that even a song? Is that even an album song? I don't know.
I'm really bad at remembering names of things.
Anyway, yeah, that's the music artist we like. I feel like my favourite albums are the ones like you that I have on vinyl, which is all of Taylor's. Plus, I have both of Olivia Rodrigo's and I have Harry's House. I probably should get Short and Sweet and Chaperone on vinyl. That would make my collection complete.
To have a vinyl, even if you don't listen to it all the time. I can ask for that for my birthday.
That's a great present idea.
It's nice
if anyone's watching.
It's almost like a trophy of the fact that you like.
It's like a physical representation of your your love for the album. And I always think like if the Wi-Fi ever goes down, then you've got your favorite albums on vinyl to listen to. Yeah. Someone said, "What is your hair routine?"
Oh.
I feel like I do change up my hair routine quite often because very luckily I do get sent PR from a lot of brands, so I always want to try everything I get sent. But I feel like to name a few, if I was like one of you listening and I was gonna recommend something to purchase in terms of like very affordable, I really like Fudge hair care. They did my hair the other week at this event, and honestly, I've washed my hair with their shampoo. The smell smells like a posh salon shampoo, but it's very affordable, and I really like the Fudge leave-in conditioner as well. I really like their products, and they're like very, very affordable. If you're looking for a bit more bougie products, I like Redken. They're like it's like a white bottle with like holographic logo. That's my favorite range from them, and it smells like sweets. That hair care line smells so good. I also like L'Oreal Professional shampoo. I feel like that's what they use in a lot of hair salons as well. I like the Pro longer one because I have very long hair. But
I used to get I haven't got this for a while. You know the TG.
Like bedhead.
No, it's like they have this range where it's like 1, 2, and 3. Whether it's like more moisturising or less moisturising, and I used to get that, and that was quite good.
Yeah,
but I haven't got that in a while.
I feel like I do never know. Like I feel like back in the day, I used to think don't use shampoos with like sulfates and silicones and all these rules, but then now I'm more kind of chill, and I don't even know if those are like.
I think I did that for a while, and then I realised that. Well, my hair actually looked better when I have the cheaper shampoos.
Yeah, and I see people saying this on TikTok. Like, I saw Alex Earle did this whole thing with like Pantene, and she was like, my mum's expired Pantene makes my hair look better. And then she brought out a range called Expired Pantene, which I don't know if the whole thing was just maybe an ad, but I feel like people in the comments were agreeing. Like, sometimes when you use those shampoos with like those chemicals in, it actually makes your hair look good. But then I don't know, does it just make your hair look good in the short term, but then in the long term it's not good for your hair?
I just think, well, I mean, I don't really do much of my hair, to be honest. I'm quite lazy with it, but I just think the main thing is just don't put heat on it and get it cut regularly, then your hair will probably be healthy.
I think heat will damage your hair way more than products will.
Although I'm saying that,
and like bleaching your hair will damage
Dyson Airwrap, which people say is less damaging, but actually it's still really hot, so I think it is still damaging.
I would say my main tip is heatless curls. That's the thing.
But I just can't. I've tried so many times. Like, I know the theory, but I can't sleep with them in. I've tried the ones that go around the back of your head. it just digs into my neck.
You don't like it?
I can't deal with it.
One day I'm going to do it for you the way I do it, and I'll send you home with them.
I can't deal with it. It digs into...
What I do, right, I put my heatless curl on, turn it round, then I take the 2 sticks, put it together so it's like, a circle on my head, and then I put a satin bonnet on to hold it all in place. But then
it digs into the back of my head.
The actual heatless curler you should get one that's like good quality one, so it's squishy, so that it's almost just like a pillow.
Maybe it's just the actual heatless curler that I have is too thick. Because some
cheap heatless curlers are literally made of like styrofoam inside, so they're not comfy.
I think that's probably what
Whereas
my one
is. The one I have is like, it's like a little cushion, like it's very squishy.
But also, does it even need to be thick? Because I've seen some people just use like dressing gown cords and stuff.
Yeah, well, it depends like how curly you want your hair. The thinner the curler, the more curly your hair will be. And like I have different size ones, so it, if I want it really curly to last all day, I'll do a thinner one. I'm just too
lazy, honestly.
But it's much quicker.
It's the planning ahead.
But it's so much quicker than doing the Dyson Airwrap in the morning. Like it saves you so much more time than it takes. It's literally like 5 minutes before bed every night, and then you never have to curl your hair again.
I think I need to get a different heatless curler. I think that's the problem.
I have quite a few. Maybe I'll send you home today with one, and you can try and do it tonight. Because
you sound like a
little goodie bag.
You sound like a game show host.
I'm like Ellen.
We'll send you home today with a heatless curler.
Yeah, maybe I will. I'll send you home with one. It's like a little charity case with your hair. But yeah, that wasn't that helpful. I feel like also in terms of hair, I love the Living Proof dry shampoo. That is something I do recommend spending money on, because I've tried so many dry shampoos.
My hair gets greasy so quickly, and then I just wash it. But I actually think I should get a dry shampoo, because I think washing it too often obviously isn't good for your hair.
I really recommend.
Wash it, I try and hold it out for like 3 days. But that's as much as I can
I wash my hair like once a week.
Really?
And I really recommend Living Proof dry shampoo. It's really good.
I can't do that. But maybe I need to get into dry shampoo.
What I do is, if my hair's greasy, you'd put loads of Living Proof dry shampoo in it, then get the ends wet, heatless curl, and then the next day, because you're sleeping in the dry shampoo, it like rubs itself in, and then the next day your hair's got so much volume from the dry shampoo, and it's curly on the end, so it looks like you've washed it, because it looks like you've styled it, but you haven't.
Genius.
Yeah, so that's my tip.
Wow.
To wait to wash your hair and do that. So yeah, maybe I'll send you home with some Living Proof dry shampoo too. It sounds like a game show.
I'll come into the next episode and my hair will be looking amazing.
Yeah.
No, but I really need to get a haircut. I haven't got a haircut in like over 6 months. It's so bad.
No, same. I got my hair cut last week, and it was the first time I'd had it cut since like October. Yeah. And it's like May.
I really need to get it cut, but I just don't want to pay for it. So I'm just like annoyed.
You know
why
what?
Is it so expensive?
It annoys me because whenever I go to the hairdresser, she's always like, you need to come more often, because then you need to get less
like,
cut every time.
Of course they say
that. But then I'm like, if I get this much cut every 6 months, it's only costing me £50 every 6 months. Whereas if I get this small amount cut every 6 weeks,
same price.
It's going to cost me £50 every 6 weeks.
They don't charge you per inch.
Yeah, so
but
I
obviously
just think
that's why they're doing that, because they want you to spend more money.
Yeah, and I do understand like the split ends grow faster if your hair's more damaged, but for me, my hair's fairly good condition, and my split ends
hair's long enough. You don't really need to worry about that.
So yeah, even if my split ends have grown like this much, they can just cut that much off.
You probably don't want your hair to be like much longer than it is, surely.
No, I don't want it to be like
down to your bum,
sitting on it.
Yeah,
no.
So
I want to like drag like dust from the crown of my hair.
Yeah.
So
you could be in the Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah, I don't want to look like that vibe. I feel like they get so hot when your hair's too long, and it's just like doesn't even look nice.
Yeah, and it's just dragging it down.
Yeah.
But I have been tempted to go short. Not short, but like,
because you used to have a bob. Have you seen this trend on TikTok of the Nicki Minaj song? And it's like
bob.
Point of view, calling me Bob, and all the people are like with the bob. Have you seen it?
Isn't she saying Barb, not Bob? Because she's Barb.
Oh, maybe. I didn't even... I thought it was Bob, like B.O.B. the rapper, maybe.
Oh, because Nicki Minaj is Barb.
Oh, but everyone in the TikTok is like, start calling me Bob.
Well, I guess they just didn't.
You should see. You should look at that sound, because it's going to make you want to get a Bob.
But people.
But then some people's Bob goes
know.
wrong, and they look like a medieval man.
Little lad.
Yeah, the little lad. Yeah. So it's a risky haircut.
It is, but I've had it before, so I kind of know.
Can I show you? I'm going to show Josie this Bob
But
trend.
like, imagine this just going. That would be so fun. You got to be careful that it doesn't look Karen-ish.
Yeah, I feel like certain bobs.
I think the key for me is like it needs to be slightly below the shoulder, not above the shoulder.
Yeah. But then some people have above the shoulder and it looks really cool and like Parisian.
I know, but it's so hard to style because my hair is quite naturally curly, so it flicks out, and I end up looking like
Miss Hooley.
Miss Hooley from Balamory. Yeah. So you got to be careful.
One thing that I do though, before I know I'm getting a haircut, then I start putting conditioner way higher up because I'm like, that's gonna be my new ends. Like it's weird to think like.
But I just kind of put conditioner like not on the top of my head, but I put it like almost all the way up.
Really?
Yeah.
I only go like chin down
because
maximum.
Otherwise this bit of my hair gets really like dry. So.
What I do is I'll put it on, and then if I have a little bit left on my hands, I'll go like that. But I don't like. But then when I got my hair cut by Fudge the other week, I don't know if it's just because he was trying to get good content, but in the video of him doing the conditioner on my hair, he's doing it all the way to the top, like a lot, and my hair did look great after.
Yeah.
But I feel like what happens to me is that thing happens all the time to me where you're drying your hair and it's not drying, and you're like, oh my god, it's a conditioner.
Product in it, yeah.
The conditioner's still in my hair. So I feel like that would happen even worse if I was putting it.
I think it depends
at the top.
on what the conditioner is. I feel like some does that worse than others.
If it's like very moisturising.
And it depends on the water pressure level of your shower, because I live on quite a high up level. I won't say what level of my building I live, but it's very high up. And
you think the water pressure is
worse because I'm so high up.
Do you think is there science to that?
Yeah, I think so, because it has to work harder to send the water up.
I suppose.
So the pressure is absolutely rubbish.
I always wonder how high-rise buildings even work, because I'm like, how? Because like say like in a normal house, if you've got like all the taps running at once, the water is not as good.
Yeah.
How are like 500 people having a shower at the same time?
They obviously have some
never
kind
affected.
of like.
But how is that? Why don't normal houses have that technology? Because I feel like when we lived at home, like if one person was in a shower, you couldn't brush your teeth.
Our parents' house is just ridiculous. Like
because it's like an old house. Yeah. But I feel like everyone's houses in England are old, so like it always, even this house here, like the pressure is not good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how does it work in such a high-rise building?
Because it's a new building, they must have new technology. Obviously.
I guess, but it just makes me like very confused.
This episode has been the most random episode ever.
Yeah.
We're talking about water pressure now.
We're skipping around many topics. Someone said, what's your favourite food? You know, I'm getting hungry for dinner, so this is a good question. I feel like every meal I eat, I'm like, this is my favourite food. But then like the next time I have a different cuisine, I'm like, this is my favourite food. Like I'm so... Cuisine. How do you say cuisine?
To be fair, I don't know, I'm not French.
Cuisine. It's like that TikTok somewhere they're like, croissant.
Paella. Paella.
I have not seen that.
It's when people like pronounce foods in like the proper way that you're supposed to pronounce it, but they're like talking in their normal accent, and then they're just like paella.
That's like when my friends always make fun of me for saying bichon frise. And I'm talking about someone's dog, I'm like, yeah, their dog's a bichon frise, and they're like, how do you know that word? And I'm like, that's just a dog breed.
That's not an unusual word.
You know, my friend Ella, she doesn't know what a bichon frise is, and then whenever I say it, she's like, oh my god.
But how often are you saying bichon frise?
Well, one of our friends has their dog is a bichon, so I'm always talking about the dog.
You would be saying it more often then.
Anyway, my favourite food.
Can you tell we're tired?
I feel like we're just spiralling into madness at the moment. But I feel like my favourite, it's really tricky. I love pasta. I also love an Indian. I love Chinese food.
I was going to say a pesto pasta with the pesto from a jar.
Oh my god, that cannot be your favourite food of all time.
It's maybe one of my favourite dinners to have, like if I'm feeling lazy.
What about homemade pesto? It's so much better than jar pesto.
I know, but sometimes...
jar pesto is so rubbish compared to homemade.
That's because you've only had vegan one.
No, but I remember normal pesto. It was never as good as homemade.
If you buy like a fancy jar of pesto.
No, homemade is 100 times better.
Yeah, but I guess I'm thinking if I'm feeling lazy.
But not lazy.
I'm tired.
Like, what's your like death row meal? Okay. Like, if you're on off-menu podcast where they say their favourite meals.
Oysters.
All the time. Oh.
Sydney.
Have you seen the girl on TikTok that eats like 150,000 oysters a day? Have you seen her? Yeah. And she went to like Whitstable in Kent, and she ordered like, she's like, yeah, can I have 50 oysters? And
but
she
only Sydney rock oysters.
I've never had an oyster. Is an oyster that good that you'd want to eat 50 continuously?
No, you can't eat too many of them.
Because I feel like too many of anything is boring, but this girl loves oysters so much that she eats like so many, and all the comments were like, you're going to get poisoning.
To be fair, I think I just have like a zinc deficiency, because oysters have like so much zinc in, like way more than your recommended daily amount. But I actually do have a zinc deficiency, so it explains why I love oysters so much. I love them so much that it makes my mouth water just thinking about them. It's really weird. I feel
like that's when you have a deficiency. Because sometimes if I've like haven't eaten much iron, then I really crave like green vegetables. So I feel like that is your body telling you need to eat it. Yeah. Maybe you should just take some zinc.
I do.
Medication? Supplements?
I do take zinc supplements.
Yeah. Anyway, someone said, what's your favourite breakfast right now?
I just love an avocado toast with a good sourdough with halloumi and fried tomatoes. And
I hate fried tomatoes.
When you just keep adding like loads and loads of things on, and it's just so good, and a fried egg, and you just have like a million things. It's so good. I just am so boring that I just think if it's not broke, don't fix it. Like, just have the avocado toast. Why do you need all this stuff on top? With lemon juice on the top. Oh no. Yeah. I hate fried tomatoes. That's my worst thing. I don't like the texture. I think I'm just very plain when it comes to food. Like, if it's good, then I won't need to add stuff. So what is your favourite breakfast? I get like hyper fixated on certain breakfasts. So like there'll be like a month where I will have bagel with the Via Life cream cheese and cucumber, and if I can't have it, like if I come down in the morning and my boyfriend's eating the last bagel, I will like cry and have to go to the shop even if I'm like running late or something. Like, I have to eat it, and I have to eat it. But then after like 4 weeks of doing that every morning, I'm like, I'm repulsed by the thought of a bagel. And then I don't have it again for like 6 months. That's what happened to me with, there's this sushi place down like outside our apartment building, and I went and had it almost every single day for like 3 months, and then I got so sick of it. You spent so much money. This was last summer. Okay, maybe it wasn't every day, but it was a lot. Like, I was getting it multiple times a week. By the end of the summer, I literally couldn't eat sushi for like a whole, I probably had mercury poisoning. Yeah. But now I'm back on the sushi train again. It's going to happen again. I can just tell it. Yeah, so sometimes I like bagel. At the minute, I've been eating Weetabix, what's it called? Mini crisps? Mini, you know, the miniature Weetabix with chocolate crisps. What's it called? Never heard of it. You've never had it? No. I'm going to send you home. Stop sending me home with things. No, because I have loads of packets. Because I bought like 5 packs from Costco of this cereal. It's called like Weetabix Crispy Minis. I think that's what it's called. So I just don't really like anything that's too like insubstantial or sugar. I feel like I get like this sugar crash, and then I start shaking, and I like need to eat food. I don't think it's the most like 11 a.m. balanced breakfast, but I have been liking the texture of it. Like some kind of blood sugar problem. Like, if I eat too much of a sugary breakfast that's not big enough, then I can't survive until lunch. It's like whenever I eat porridge, I'm so hungry. Like, it's better. Really? It's better for me. Porridge. Like, if I had breakfast and had porridge, I'd be way more hungry 2 hours later than if I'd just not even eaten anything. What if you put like a banana and like peanut butter? It's just something about everything oats and porridge in general that makes me so hungry after. That's weird. Yeah, it's really weird. That's like the opposite of what it's supposed to do. Yeah, whenever I have just like oats for breakfast. Do you have like enough? Like, because those packet of porridge are so tiny. Like in school, I used to make like, I'd have like chia seed, peanut butter, like, you know, lots of different food groups, but just I would never be full. That's so weird. Yeah, so at the moment probably crispy mini cereal, but it's probably going to change again. Now I've said bagels, maybe next time I'm shopping I'm going to get bagels and become obsessed with bagels again. I don't know. Okay, I think that is all the questions we have time for. We only answered a few because we have been rambling all episode. But I hope you guys really enjoyed. Hopefully you're having a good week. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, on the podcast Instagram at mybigsisterpodcast, if you do want to be involved in future episodes. And next week it's Grace's birthday. Next week it's my birthday. And then also in the coming weeks we may have some guests coming on, because we have finally purchased a third microphone. Yeah, it's very exciting. So if you do have any requests or recommendations for any guests you want to see on here, any influencers you follow, or just any people we talk about on the podcast, if you want them to come on, they will come on. We're going to force our friends and family to come on the podcast. I don't think Mum and Dad will come on. But... No, but we may get our sister on, our third sister. And I've got a lot of friends who I feel like
have like good knowledge of different topics that we can talk to them about. So that's something that's going to be coming up soon. But I hope you guys really enjoyed. My ats are all at Grace Tutty. Josie, what are yours?
Josie V Tutty on Instagram and Josie Violet on YouTube if you like knitting content.
Yeah, Josie's still going strong with the knitting
I knitted
content.
this jumper that I'm currently wearing if you're watching the video version of this episode.
But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed. Hope you're having a really good week, and we will see you next week for my birthday special episode. Bye guys.